Four of the most skilled student teams in the trades come together in one advanced manufacturing competition. Each team competes from their school campus to find out who welds, programs, and machines their way to the title of Project MFG National Champion. Welcome to Clash of Trades presented by Project MFG. I'm your host, Stephanie Quayle. This competition reflects the advanced manufacturing workplace by requiring the production and documentation of a product. For this challenge, a trophy. Each team has identical materials, cost constraints, and 16 hours on the clock. Up to 100 points are available, and the team with the highest point total wins.
The trophy consists of 3 parts, 2 of which the teams know about going into the competition. A welded stand is the base and a machined and engraved neck in the middle. The surprise piece is an engraved globe that tops the finished trophy.
Let's meet the teams. In Danville, Virginia, manufacturing is back on the rise as companies seek out the high talent labor pool, like those graduating from Danville Community College. The team consists of 3 people for maximum efficiency.
Kind of nervous, honestly. Just you really don't know somebody how much experience somebody else might have over top of you.
Calhoun Community College is in one of the largest aerospace defense and advanced manufacturing hubs in the country. This Northern Alabama team has 5 members who each represent a highly specialized skill set.
Just because you're working with your hands doesn't mean that your brain's turned off. The people I know in the trades are some of the smartest people I know. I feel like we have a very good shot at being competitive.
The 4-person team from Tennessee College of Applied Technology has U.S. military ties with its close proximity to Fort Campbell. Each member of this team is a veteran or spouse of an active duty military member.
These people are disciplined. With a soldier, we never have to teach work ethics because they know how to get to work.
Southwestern Illinois College's 3-person team got their start in manual machining. The St. Louis area is home to large and small manufacturers who contribute to the region's export of goods nationwide and around the world.
There's art in everything that we do. Every piece of metal has its own story.
Meet our panel of expert judges for the competition. Mike Carlson, lead engineer at Accessible Technologies that designs and manufactures ProCharger and Innovair high-efficiency centrifugal superchargers and blowers along with turbo machine systems. Dr. Leslie Cohen, PhD in civil engineering with 50 years of experience in research and development and senior executive leadership of civil aviation and DoD missiles and space programs. That's quite a list there, sir. Stretch, artist, sculptor, expert welder, entrepreneur, and restaurateur at Grinders by Stretch. Stretch has been featured on many hit television shows like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Monster House, and Extreme Makeover, Home Edition. Project MFG competitions are made possible by Mastercam, Haas Automation, Lincoln Electric, Constellium, and Zeiss, along with funding from the U.S. Department of Defense's Industrial Base Analysis and Sustainment Program, or IBAS. In Project MFG's debut season of competitions, more than $300,000 in total prizes and awards are presented to competing schools and students. How many hours is 16 hours? Is it enough to get it done?
It's going to be tight.
Okay.
We'll see.
This is a lot harder than it looks.
The technology and the techniques that are used in this, it's serious.
Teams have submitted their resumes. How are they looking on paper?
Outstanding, highly qualified for their mission.
Not just education, they've got internships, kids from farms, a butcher. It's a lot of good experience here.
There's even an Eagle Scout in there.
Stop it!
It's time for the plan of attack. Each team develops a strategy, taking into account time, cost, and resources. Just like the real world, everything costs money. Teams who manage costs well are awarded more points. Key factors include the size of the team, number of hours on the clock, and purchases, such as an additional laptop or replacement parts.
So here is your USB that has your surprise element. Remember that you can purchase another laptop, and you had to make that decision before 9 a.m.
If we don't finish my part, then what are we going to do? Sit the globe on top of the trophy and just let it sit there and be pretty?
We butt heads quite often about ideas with, oh no, this will work better or that'll work better. In the end, we work it out and come up with a good solution.
We purchased a second computer, just make sure we can get everything done in a timely manner and not run ourselves to the last minute. For the most part, we work pretty well together. We just screw around a lot.
Hold on, watch this. Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to keep the noise down over there.
As far as 3D milling and 5-axis milling, I mean, we're no 20-year machinists by any means, but we're pretty decent.
We practiced making one neck. We spent several days just trying to find the best way to machine it and make it look the best. So I feel pretty confident that we at least have that portion of it pretty well in the bag. I definitely think trying to machine the top part is going to be interesting. I can say that I've personally never tried to machine a sphere.
That's different, for sure.
Did it work? Yes, it worked. See, I knew what I was doing. I was not guessing at all that whole time.
This team is very, very skilled. We may have a larger team, but we evaluated having that depth there and being able to get it done in an efficient manner. We may have a higher dollar per hour cost, but that doesn't necessarily mean we'll have a higher cost at the end.
What do y'all think if we get that second laptop? Well, you start the neck. Clay comes in here, gets a program ready for this fixture, pours it out, taps it, and that'll leave you, after you finish the neck, to start on the actual glue. Y'all want to roll with that?
We try to pick the best and the brightest and the ones that work the hardest for something like this.
We were kind of expecting a globe. We saw the neck and it said, manufacturing makes the world go round. So they've been approaching, how do I machine a sphere on a 5-axis machine?
I don't have any idea about my speeds. I'm just going to go all the way as fast as I can. Now we're going places, man. Things are going to start happening, you know?
We chose not to do the second laptop because we felt we had a good enough handle on the parts that we saw that we could just get away with one to keep costs down.
Currently, I am looking at the print for the surprise part. It's essentially a ball that has the continents on top of it, and instead of it just being wireframe or being inlaid into it, it's protruding off of it, and it does not want to cooperate. I try to be the hopeful optimist of the group. I try to find any way humanly possible to spearhead through whatever situation that I'm in. It wouldn't be that bad looking if it was just a sphere.
No.
Through my observations of doing the surprise part, I feel like we probably will not need to use the second computer. We're going to be pushing our machining so we can get as much cost reduction as possible through cycle time.
One thing I love about machining is I can take a block of metal and make a part out of that. The thought process that goes into making that a reality can be very difficult sometimes. It's a lot of fun.
The surprise was actually a real surprise. Programming is going to be pretty intense. I mean, it's going to be a challenge because, one, we've had very limited 5-axis capability here. I mean, everybody knows that we're the underdogs. We only have a 3-axis machine. We've only had probably 20 hours tops doing any multi-axis work. On a scale to 110, it's probably about a 14.
Pressure's on, but we try to laugh through it. I always say adapt and overcome. So that's what we're doing.
These other teams have 5-axis in their shop every day.
Yeah, that's been a struggle.
So the only time we've touched a 5-axis is the last time we were in a competition.
The difference between a 3-axis and a 5-axis machine, 3-axis is X, Y, Z axis. When you have a 5-axis, one is a trunnion table that moves side to side, and then the fifth one is a rotary axis that can move 360 degrees, and that, from a programming standpoint, that makes that more complicated already. It's just a completely different animal compared to a 3-axis machine. But we're going to do the best that we can.
Sounds easy.
Yeah. I'll make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Roger that, son. Roger that.
Judges, do any of these strategies stand out to you? Let's talk about Danville Community College. Mike, what'd you think?
Danville, they're ready to work in parallel. They bought the second laptop. I think they're going to be able to adapt. They've definitely got to focus on the competition.
They are loaded. They are very heavy on their resumes. I mean, these guys have accolades out the wazoo. They're each going to take on a couple different tasks, which is cool. They're very positive.
Moving on to Calhoun Community College.
Presentation, very verbal, good communication, clear, concise.
I see a detailed plan. They put a lot of thought into this. They're real focused on the competition and delivering a product.
All right, how about you, Stretch? Anything stand out to you?
Well, I'm glad to see they bought that extra laptop.
Yeah.
Because you never know if one's going to break down. If you have the funds to do it, you can work on multi-projects at once.
Well, Southwestern Illinois, they only got one workstation. They didn't buy the second one.
Okay.
Concerned that they may have some flexibility problems later. May not be as adaptable. They have a big focus on cost. It's a small team. I expect to see a real good cost score, but I guess we'll have to see if they finish.
Les, what'd you think?
Well, I thought that they lacked what I call a snappy story.
Tell me what should be snappy.
Well, it's a short statement
Okay.
of what your strategy is, and you stop. It shouldn't take more than 2 minutes.
It's SWIC. I mean, that's short and snappy. I mean, it's boom right
Quick,
there.
yes.
They only have one laptop. I see a problem with that. It's going to be like tag team wrestling, I think, in that scenario. It might be a 3-ring circus, but I'm kind of rooting for them.
So guys, what do you think of TCAT?
TCAT, everybody loves an underdog.
2 women on the team. I was glad to see that. It's the best people for the job. I was really excited.
I have a simple and clear statement of a strategy and their objectives.
I think this competition is going to stretch their experience, but they're willing to tackle it.
I think they're going to be thorough, and they have to watch each other's backs. It feels like that kind of community.
Now, an update on the point standings after each team has completed their plan of attack. 7 points are available, and TCAT takes the lead.
Mastercam creates software and services that solve the world's manufacturing challenges. Their computer-aided design and manufacturing platform designs parts and drives CNC equipment. Mastercam is the most widely used CAM software, serving makers across a range of industries around the world. They believe that manufacturing is critical to economic development, and technology enables anyone with an interest to gain skills and discover much more than a job.
Now that each team has a strategy and is beginning to program, there is a new twist. A change order is received. For those who choose to do it and successfully complete it, 5 bonus points can be earned.
The team is really strong in programming and machining aspects of this competition. We're kind of lacking in the welding. So we had a team member that could weld to our standards good enough to get the welding points that we needed, and then the welding points that we couldn't get, we could make up with the machining, which would mean not having that 4th teammate. So that's what we did.
Oh boy. Well, your call.
I don't think I want to do it.
So does it mean you are or not gonna do it?
I am not gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm almost done with the other one. The 5 points would be nice, but if I can't get it done in time. We felt we were just gonna waste too much time trying to get that new neck to work right. So we decided to just take the part we had and we know we can machine over possibly not having both parts.
Multiple neck options, that's huge, especially one that's an option for multiple points.
Whenever you manufacture something, one step that will always occur is adaptation, because it never always goes exactly as you foresee it going.
So do you feel confident with that?
Absolutely not.
That's not what I wanted to hear, George.
That is what you want to hear. So I get confident about something, things go wrong.
This is compressed into a couple of 8-hour days, but still they have to have that finished product. And I think that will be a tremendous learning experience for them in the real world because, again, you're under a time constraint to satisfy your customer and you've got to stay within budget.
I got more faith in his ability to weld something together than I'm not saying in our ability to make something, but when we're talking risk reward here, right? If he's wrong, well then we're out 5 points. If we're wrong, then we're out of a neck, and we got to start from another block again.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God. What is that? Is it worth going for it? Screw it. I'll pull it up. I'll play with that. You finish that globe and then you come help me with this.
The part that made me the most nervous would probably be the crazy contours throughout the neck and then the surface on the globe.
I like a challenge. I think that's going to be our ticket right there, Chase. What? If we can accomplish it, change order. The welding coupon is worth 5 points and the change order is worth 5 points. If our coupon didn't fail, then that's 10 points in the bag instead of just 5. Center part, we have decided to go with the changed version of because of the way we decided to go about machining, and I don't think that affects us that much.
Then we got our programmer, Will. He's pretty amazing. He's learned Mastercam leaps and bounds, and since the competition began, we didn't even know what Mastercam was.
We're putting a lot of eggs in his basket. I'm extremely confident in his abilities to pull this programming off. I mean, I can't voice my opinion, and I'm not going to, but he programmed the neck and it looks good, and hopefully it works okay. Let's concentrate on the surprise piece, and if we have time, then we can try the neck, but that's a huge thing right there, so I don't know if we should risk it.
And I understand that you're holding off on the change order until...
It might be a surprise.
I'm like, careful what you wish for.
We're very cautious this go around, let's put it that way.
It's going real good so far though.
You better just go knock on some wood.
I don't think that's wood.
Haas Automation manufactures vertical and horizontal machining centers, CNC lathes, rotary tables, and large 5-axis and specialty machines. All Haas products are manufactured in Oxnard, California, the largest, most modern machine tool manufacturing operation in the United States. Haas products are distributed internationally through a network of locally owned and operated Haas factory outlets.
How proficient are the welding skills on each team? We are about to find out and test your mettle. Here they find out the results of a destructive test sample weld sent to Lincoln Electric before the competition. For those who don't pass, a detour is required on their race to the finish. As a penalty, each team who fails the test sample weld must complete an additional weld on 2 pieces of pipe with only 15 minutes to do it. If the detour weld passes, they move on to weld their base. If they fail, the welder sits out for 30 minutes.
High school was my first time ever welding in an agriculture class. I worked on welding some dumpsters and they rusted and all that. And if you can weld a rusted dumpster, you can weld pretty much anything. I feel like it passed. It looked good, clean on the outside anyways. And they're gonna pull it and you want the piece of square tubing to break before your welds do.
Good sign, right? So here are your weld test results. Congratulations, you passed.
We see ourselves as a precision machining group. We don't have someone who's dedicated at welding and that's all they do. We have a multifunction team. We are decent at welding, but we know we're not perfect at it.
That's a no bueno.
It busted on us. It's okay. We'll move on and we'll just make sure we nail the machining.
In that detour, you will be required to take these 2 pieces of pipe and weld them together. Once you're done, we will do a tolerance test where we actually take this rod and pass it through, and it has to pass all the way through. If it does not pass all the way through, you'll have to sit out for 30 minutes.
So I was in cosmetology school, and every time I would leave the classroom, I would see the welders because they were right down the hallway. See the sparks flying, hoods down, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I just, I fell in love with the idea of it before I fell in love with the doing it, My last name is Chapa, and it actually means metal worker in Spanish. It's like, hey, maybe this is the right path for you. That was kind of tough. I didn't really think it would be. I didn't think anyone would be watching when they told me how I did. Definitely a good learning experience. He pulled me aside and told me exactly what I did wrong, and that was really cool.
This did a pretty good job, but if we're looking at the weld itself, and you can see how it did not penetrate into that joint right there, and how it has rolled edges. It does not wash in smoothly in order to get quite the penetration that we're looking for.
She's a young welder, just out of the chute, and she is an excellent technical welder. She gets rattled by just nerves, and if she can control that, then she's going to be just fine.
Do you feel the pressure yet?
I'm going with the flow. I mean, as a welder, that's what you have to do. You got to adapt.
The goal of that test is not for the specimen to not break. You want it to break in a certain place. You want the material to fail and not your welds. I feel like I was able to make welds that were sound and will be able to withstand the stresses that were required to be able to pass that test.
Oh, come on, Andrew. Was that supposed to break yet?
No. I'm disappointed.
He's going to be off the team now.
I'd like to tell you that you actually passed.
I was dirty. I'm pretty sure that was a fail. I never doubted it, man.
You've got the flat face, good washing at the toes. It held up good as far as the meeting the maximum pounds per square inch. And overall, it's definitely a pass. They did take the time to clean that scale off. And that makes a big difference when the weld, when it washes in, the penetration will make a big difference. So taking that extra time and cleaning that mill scale off there really goes a long way.
After their detour welds are complete, the welders from TCAT and SWIC both passed their tolerance tests, allowing them to continue on without further penalty. They joined Danville and Calhoun in welding their trophy stands. Each team's welding performance is judged by a visual inspection and how it measures up against the provided specifications. Each weld also must pass a pressure vessel test to see if it holds air.
It's just an odd shape, that's all that's different about it. And stainless is just a material that you really got to watch the heat on it, because it'll get liquidy on you real quick and run through. You got to watch the inside, make sure it don't sugar up, so then it's going to make it leak, of course. And hoping everything runs well. And the beads look good itself, so it's got a good appearance. As long as it holds air, I feel like we do pretty good. There's a lot of opportunities out there for welding. Many places, if you're willing to travel, you can get a job out anywhere. Definitely, I didn't want to be welding on dumpsters.
The welding went pretty well. I took a lot of time practicing. That went pretty well. Visually, I think it looks good. Obviously, the pressure test will tell.
We feel optimistic about our results here. There's no guarantee because we're kind of in the dark as to whether did we do well compared to the other team. I mean, obviously, we just want to be perfect to begin with and not worry about it, but we've had some mistakes, and it's just a normal part. You got to keep your head in the game and keep rolling.
Now to attack it and see if it's actually going to stay parallel. Highly doubt it, but that's why we have hammers.
Not a big risk taker at all. I'm very relaxed, very mild generally, and I knew I would probably be, one of the few women in the field.
Here, I'll try it. Okay. Okay. See if it works. Okay.
There's nothing physical about welding. I mean, so much of it is mental, fine motor skills, that kind of stuff. Once you get in the rhythm of being able to do something physically, I feel like you can kind of tune everything else out. So, generally if I'm stressed out at work, getting behind the gun and, just doing a couple beads is really, really peaceful.
I've got a lot of hours under the hood, so I felt comfortable.
I don't know everything about welding. I don't think there's any way that you could possibly know everything. It's not, okay, I'll go and watch a YouTube video, weld a T-joint, and now I'm a great welder. It's, I'm gonna go try, and I'm gonna fail. I'm going to hopefully improve, fail again, and it's that repeated cycle of failure and improvement that helps bring you up to a higher level. There's a lot of aspects. There is no one-size-fits-all answer for welding.
One of the biggest pieces of advice anybody ever gave me was think like a machinist. Yeah. Be able to have that repeatability and things like that.
Let's see how the teams did with the pressure vessel test. Bubbles are bad. It means the weld was not successful. So guys, why is it significant that the welder passed this test?
Well, the weld can look pretty good, but this test will show some pretty small pinholes.
In this situation, having bubbles underwater is just air escaping. If this had a gas in it and it was going down the highway, or it was under pressure in a facility or at a military installation or something, the last thing you want is something that's not supposed to leak, leaking.
Let's see how the teams did with this test.
I think the only one I observed is TCAT that has bubbles. It's kind of got that aquarium effect going on.
You know, all of these welds, they looked pretty good, but TCAT's got a problem. Duct tape's not gonna fix that.
Now it's time for a scoring update. 31 points are available after welding results are complete. Calhoun Community College earned a perfect score in welding and takes the lead.
For over 125 years, Lincoln Electric has been the world leader in the design, development, and manufacture of arc welding products, automated joining, assembly and cutting systems, plasma and oxy-fuel cutting, and has a leading global position in brazing and soldering alloys. Renowned as the welding experts, Lincoln Electric judges the welding performances in Project MFG competitions.
Now that welding results are complete, teams have 69 points still remaining in the race to the finish. This is the machining phase, where we find out if the strategy and programming efforts produce the desired results. Time management, precision, experience, and technique matter. What's at risk if mistakes are made? Not being able to complete the challenge before time is up.
Without their own 5-axis CNC machine on campus, the TCAT team travels an hour and a half to a Haas factory outlet to use their facility for the remainder of the competition. Their day starts off well. Will's programming efforts seem to be working correctly.
It's actually my second time on a 5-axis machine. The last time I operated one was at regionals. I always told my stepson, you learn something new every day. And when we come here and we get to run a 5-axis machine, we definitely learn a lot of new things in one day.
Any moment we can get on a 5-axis machine makes us 100% more employable than the average person out there. Our team is amazing. We have overcame so much. Being from a small school in Tennessee, 3-axis machine is all we've ever been able to do.
We've only been able to watch computer simulations, basically, and YouTube. We couldn't even see where the machine would run in a program to even proof out a neck. So we feel like we had to actually go in and do 2 pieces from scratch. Whereas other schools who have access to a 5-axis, if they're smart, would have proofed the neck prior to coming.
What we hit here? Our tool, it just chunked the tool
It
off.
just chunked the whole tool off.
Despite having purchased a second laptop, Calhoun faces programming issues into the second half of the competition, which keeps them from being able to start machining.
Can somebody tell me a joke or something, like a funny one?
It's your program anyway.
It used to be. It's all yours now. You got it. You got it. I'm clocking out.
I'm trusting you, Cody. If it crashes, it's all your fault, man.
We thought it was going pretty well there, and then right off the bat, we was having some problems with getting the machine to run the program the way we were wanting to, but it's just, that's part of it. I mean, that happens every time we program something, it seems like.
Be gentle with it, George.
Deal with it, George.
Be gentle.
After the late start, the machine isn't functioning as they expected, and the team attempts to diagnose the problem.
Worst you can do is kill it.
Yeah.
It's like driving a truck down the hill with no brakes.
It said we got to pay money if we want to talk to somebody about how to fix our machine.
When you get out in the real world and you go to work, you're going to have obstacles and you're going to have to work through them. So it's provided a real world experience for them. Of course, I always want our team to come out on top, but if they don't, I think they can take something away from this competition, into their career.
I'm nervous. We're going to come close. I got confidence in all them guys. So.
Swick starts machining their trophy neck without any major complications. However, things take a turn for the worse when they move on to the globe.
For machining, it's patience and it takes time. You gotta pay attention to everything because every little detail is what matters.
Machining is a very unforgiving process. In this business, there's no free mess ups. So these CNC machines, they're useless without the people who know how to run them, because without that knowledge, the machine just sits there. And we're starting off with a block of material, and within that block is the finished part, one that is highly toleranced and highly accurate to less than a human hair.
We're only hitting in some places.
Is it cutting?
No.
It's not even cutting.
It's not. It's just now getting over the flat. I'm gonna stop it.
Hello?
It stopped cutting.
It stopped cutting?
It stopped. It's back to hovering over the part by material. I don't know what's.
Danville's strategy to have 2 computers for programming pays off, allowing them to start machining the globe right away as the second half of the competition begins.
We decided to focus on the globe first so that if we encountered any problems, we still might have time to make changes before the end of the day. So far, that's going okay. We've run into a few small issues, but nothing we can't get through and produce at least a finished part.
Y'all almost had to call an EMT for me. I almost had a heart attack.
That next one.
Rough down looks right. I'm not having a heart attack anymore.
I am. I'm still worried about this darn blend line, dude. I think other people are gonna have worse blend lines than this.
We're having trouble getting the globe to actually blend correctly from one side to the other. We're having a problem with offsets with the globe actually whopping on one side, causing the tool to cut on one side before it does the other. Not really a part ending issue, but I think we've found a solution to work through it. So hopefully we'll work through that and get it done here very soon.
As far as I'm concerned, the students here are subject matter experts. The equipment that they're working on this competition, they're exposed to on a daily basis. They're extremely familiar with it. The softwares that they're using, the toolpaths that they're using, it's all part of their daily activities when they're a student. And so this is nothing new for them.
Yes, it should. It's gonna get close, but it's not gonna be that tilt like it was before. Okay.
Unable to diagnose the issues with the CNC machine on their own, Calhoun decides to call in help. A Haas technician gets the machine up and running, and the team resumes machining with little time to spare.
I saw a lot of frustration earlier, but it seems to be a resurgence of team effort, camaraderie, but I'm happy to see that they came back together toward the end of the day.
Competitors, we're just shy of an hour.
I feel like we got a decent shot at coming in and getting it done. We just got to keep our nose to the grindstone and kind of put the past behind us and keep moving forward.
We're going to need some other teams to mess up right now, but we decided to just take the time we had after they fixed the machine and try to make the most of it. I mean, I'm obviously disappointed we didn't get to finish the globe. I mean, we had it programmed, but with the machine problems, we just ran out of time. Sometimes the cookie don't crumble your way, you know?
SWIC tries to determine why the tool isn't making contact with their globe. Having only one laptop means they must switch users and programs multiple times throughout the day, which they believe led to a vital piece of information being lost during one of those transitions. The programming for the globe no longer has an accurate origin point. In simple terms, the tool is lost in space.
Right, so it's not going to touch period because that origin was off.
Yeah.
So unless we need to do something to at least get this thing presentable and on top of the trophy.
There's a lot to learn when it comes to multi-axis or even Mastercam in general, let alone multi-axis Mastercam. I've been doing multi-axis Mastercam for a while, and there's still some stuff that I learn every day. I don't turn spheres on a daily basis. I guess I should start, but if it was difficult for us, I'm hoping it was equally, if not more difficult for the other teams.
After breaking a tool while machining the globe, TCAT purchases and installs a replacement part so they can get back to work.
We switched out the tool, we got it all indicated back in, we were going to give it another go, but we knew, this was do or die. The globe is ready to roll, though.
Yes.
Collaboration on what we should get done, what we should do next. It was all right on cue, right on target. So it's in there right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to look at the bottom? Make sure, I'm tired, so.
Did it pop up or anything?
I don't know, how about hit the floor, I know that.
No, I did too.
We're done. Clock us out.
There was no moving on from that. Come to find out, I guess our hole was actually a little bigger than what it should have been. The shaft that was holding on the piece for the globe had some play, so between that and how fast the tool was spinning and going, it just kept cranking on it until it chipped all its chips away. If we were to start it over, we would have to start from square one.
Today was a bag of mixed emotions, honestly. Feelings are very fluid, just like manufacturing. You've got to be able to be nimble. You've got to be able to digress into anything that might happen. And everything that could have probably happened.
I don't know about everybody else, but I'm finishing. Okay? We're going back and we're gonna make ourselves a globe. And we might design it ourselves, but it's gonna happen one of these days. It's just been, I don't know, it's been fun as a team. Good to see friends,
With time running out, each team must assemble their trophy to the best of their ability and give a final presentation. Even teams without completed trophies are still in the game. Many points are up for grabs in the post-competition inspection stage.
So we did everything we could. We tried our best, and we didn't finish the part, but we finished the competition, so.
Yes, you did.
The future for TCAT's looking pretty good. Our president came down, saw what we were doing, how much it actually means, and with us getting here to nationals, our school, both TCAT Dixon and TCAT Dixon Clarksville campus are both getting a UMC 500. So the students will be able to actually learn and see what 5-axis machine can do.
These teams all have different talents. Judges, what are you seeing as the big strengths of each team?
I think TCAT, after a tough day like they had, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of discipline to stand up and face realistically the obstacles that you had to overcome and the lessons you can learn from overcoming those obstacles.
Each of those people has a great deal of personal integrity.
Everyone from here on forward will see what they did. They've plowed the way, and now they have access to some great equipment. So they're all winners.
Danville Community College. Mike, what did you feel was really right with their overall strategy?
So Danville had a small team, so they managed their costs pretty well that way. They bought the second laptop, 2 programmers, 2 laptops. There really wasn't anybody sitting around waiting for something to happen on this team.
They're the only ones that even attacked the twist.
Right.
They stepped back, slept on it overnight, and hit it hard next morning. They regrouped. They were very professional at the way they looked at this situation.
What do we think of Southwestern Illinois College?
2 programmers on the team, out of 3 people, 2 programmers, but they didn't buy the second laptop. Too much focus on cost.
They had a plan, and sometimes you have to be able to spend the money to get the project finished. I would rather worry about getting the project finished than worrying about where the money's coming from at that point.
Calhoun Community College. Mike, what'd you think?
High expectations, maybe that led them to not get started quite as quickly on day 2 and get that machine running.
Les, with such high expectations, how do you think they felt about their final performance?
Well, I think they naturally felt that they underachieved. And there's an old adage, better is the enemy of good enough.
You know, they had 5 guys on their team.
That's a lot of guys.
They have great equipment. They're in great proximity to industry around. And sometimes it's just a phone call away to find out where your problems lie.
Constellium is a leader in the development and manufacturing of high value-added aluminum products. They design and manufacture advanced alloys and engineered solutions for a range of applications from airplanes to beverage cans. Project MFG competitors use Constellium's Alplan high-grade aluminum plates, improving productivity and reducing costs through innovative material engineering.
Now for the final round of judging. First up, the trophies travel to Zeiss for precision measurement and metrology analysis.
The Industrial Metrology Business Group at Zeiss is a leading manufacturer of metrology solutions for mechanical engineering, automotive, aircraft, medical technology, and many other industries. They create innovative technologies such as 3D X-ray metrology for quality inspection. Zeiss judges final Project MFG competition products and assigns point values through precision measurement based on detailed specifications.
Using their Calypso system, Zeiss experts analyze each trophy's neck and globe to determine if their measurements fall within the tolerances defined in the competition guidelines.
Extracted a lot of the different features and datums off of the CAD model here for the competitors' parts, and now we're going to just begin measuring them to see how well machined and accurate they are. So you can definitely tell that this competition is going for very accurate parts. They're not making it easy on anybody. I mean, these parts are not easy to inspect and definitely not easy to machine, I'm sure. Very comparable to a real-world scenario, the tolerances that they're trying to meet and the dimensions that they're after.
With the measurements at Zeiss complete, it's time for final judging. We're getting close to determining our winner.
Now it's time to score the individual parts of the trophy and see how it has come together. Let's take a look at each team's trophy.
Calhoun, I see the engraving. It looks nice and crisp, clear, real consistent.
Looks good from afar. I wish they could have gotten a little further on their sphere.
Yeah, it's a nice half a sphere, and what they did do looks nice.
Danville, they finished. This project's complete. I see a couple issues with it, and it looks like where they blended the 2 hemispheres together didn't quite line up perfectly.
But we're living in a time where the world isn't perfect, so I'm okay with that, Globe.
Swick, I think a great roughing strategy. It's definitely a sphere, most of it anyways, but it's not finished. I don't see any real finished surface on there.
Creativity-wise, I wish we were able to leave the grooves from the milling process on there because it really is dynamic.
TCAT, There's a start, just not there.
Engraving is, when I looked at it first, it looked beautiful. And then when I took a closer look, they're missing some letters.
Now it's time for a scoring update. It's a close race to the finish, and Swick pulls ahead with only a handful of points left to give.
To me, we're changing lives and getting in the skilled trades areas, whether in manufacturing, it's a life changer.
The program, the project, just bringing manufacturing back is an amazing feat.
Just as a school, we're so proud of them that they're doing this.
This competition drives for teamwork, and being able to work on that and grow with this team throughout these competitions has been a really great experience.
Just getting to be a part of it, getting to machine the parts, getting to meet the people, it's all a win.
We learned a lot, we made mistakes, and we had fun. That's the biggest thing.
Thank you for watching the pilot episode of Clash of Trades. If you enjoyed the National Challenge and want to learn more about the trades featured today, please visit us at projectmfg.com and follow us on social media. We encourage you to become a competitor, participating school, industry partner, or enthusiastic advocate. Together, let's shine the light on the need and opportunities for skilled trades and provide paths forward for young people and our country. Now for the moment we've been waiting for. Time to find out who won. The winner of Clash of Trades and the first Project MFG National Champion is Danville Community College. Congratulations to Kobe Carter, Trent Oswald, and Chase Smith.
But the problems that we ran into with the top piece, there definitely were points where I thought we wouldn't win, but I'm glad that we were able to pull it off and prevail. And it's something I like to do, and if you find something you like to do, you never work a day in your life.
Everything that you have or do, at some point in time, will have to be welded, from any kind of building to piping put in, how you get your water, how you get everything. There's a lot of opportunities out there for it.
The thing that I'm most proud of these guys for is their ability to think on their own. The guys out there, stepped up to the challenge and performed and showed that they had the skills necessary to take it home.